these? What are all these?
Those?
Yeah, what are they?
Those?
Can you say movies? Can you say DVDs? Say DVDs. Movies.
No.
Okay. So, welcome back to the KonMari 6-month decluttering challenge. We are on the section of what they call Komono, which is miscellaneous. And she breaks it down into subcategories. So today we are doing our DVDs, CDs, and I'm lumping computer games and game system game stuff all into this too, which we already went through our game system games once, so I don't think we're going to get rid of much out of that section. But just in case some stragglers were along the way that we didn't get rid of, we'll be doing that at this point in time. After we do all this, I'm going to see if what we have left is going to be sellable on eBay. If it's not worth the hassle, we're probably going to take it down to our local bookstore that sells used books and DVDs and things like that, and we'll get some money off of them that way. And anything that's not sellable, we will donate from there. So not actually throwing out anything. For those of you that keep getting on to me about throwing things away, I'm not throwing any of this away. It will be either sellable or donated. Okay, so we've got to go through all of these things. A lot of these movies are my husband's movies, so he's next to me playing his video game. And we're going to be going through these, and he's going to tell me what he wants to keep and what he wants to get rid of. And while we're going through this, I'm going to be looking at any movies that I haven't seen, because my husband's the movie buff. I was not a movie buff before him, and so as I was pulling these out, there were some I saw that I was like, oh, I want to watch this. So we will go from there.
I'm doing this? Really?
Yes.
Oh.
I told you, as we go through the movies,
Oh.
you were going to have to tell me
Okay.
what I want to keep and discard.
Awesome. Yeah.
Awesome.
Come on, you want the house cleaned as much as I do.
Yeah, you're right. They all go.
Right,
That was easy.
Seriously?
Nummies, nummies, nummies.
That's what you want, right?
Well, you have to go through each one and see. You have to look at each one individually. That's what
I
KonMari
have.
is.
I know every one of them.
Okay.
Because they're all near and dear to my heart, so I know all of them. And I'm like, you know what? For my wife, I'll get rid of these.
Terry, why are you doing this to me right now? We are going to go through each one, and you're going to tell me if it's something you want to keep or not. Based off of, we have a lot of memberships online, and there's no sense in keeping something we can get through Amazon, Netflix, or Hulu, basically. So,
Absolutely. That's why they should all go.
which is probably what's going to happen. Most of these are going to go, but still, let's look at them. Okay? Humor me.
Okay.
Tell me if it makes you happy or not, okay? That's all you got to do, okay? And then think about if we can get it somewhere else. Because if it makes you happy but we can get it somewhere else, it makes more sense to get it in the electronic form. Alright, so let's do this. Enough of this craziness. Okay, so we went through all of the DVDs. This is what we ended up with. This is our sell/donate pile here. This is our keep pile. We did keep quite a bit because of the fact we thought about the fact we just bought our camper, and our camper has a DVD player in it. So some of these are more family oriented, or, you know, things that we'd want to watch while we camp. So we kept a lot of those, but we still got rid of quite a bit. I mean, this whole thing's full and overflowing. And then these are the movies that didn't have CDs or DVDs for them, so these are just empty cases. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I guess I have to throw them away. I don't know of any other thing to do with them. So,
We'll sell them for
so there.
$50 a piece.
Yeah, all right, let's sell them for $50 a piece. Yeah, definitely. All right, so now we did this, and now it's going to be on to CDs and then game things. So there you go. All right, so these are our CDs that were left. I got rid of a bunch of mine already. Before this was like years ago when I moved in. So this is what was left, and the only thing we're keeping are these, which are the CDRs. And everything else is going to go. So we'll either resell them if they can be resold, or donate them if they can't. So there you go. Xander, why'd you have to climb up here? You messed them all up. So that made that easy. I had Terry go through them, but I wanted to show what stack I had to begin with too. So there you have it. Another category done. Okay, we got into games here.
Here's my game.
Stop!
My games.
Will you please stop?
No.
Those ain't being functional.
Okay, so these are the games that we know we're keeping. These are ones that we play co-op with, which is mainly the Borderlands and Left 4 Deads. These are my husband's games that he's still currently playing, that one as well. So those all we know we're keeping, so those were easy because they were in a separate place from the others. This is the pile that I just pulled from our DVD cabinet that were all games. So we're going to go through these games and software top things and see what we're keeping and what we're going to be getting rid of. So we went through them all, and they are all going. So these are going to go to either eBay or McKay's, and we're going to get rid of them that way, and whatever doesn't sell, we'll donate. Okay, so this is our DVD cabinet that I started with. Every single shelf was completely filled to the brim, even things sitting off to the side, kind of like what this is doing, where some are falling over and they were piled up high where you couldn't even see the things behind them. I also had a box on the top here that was filled with DVDs as well. Obviously that's gone. This is an empty shelf. I just have one of these little doodads here, which is actually going to go to a game, Skylanders, that we're going to have Xander play once he gets older to play it. And our daughter took off with some of our stuff, but I know it has the other Skylanders in it in a bag that she has, so I know we'll get those back. And the rest of the things that are in that bag are also going to go. We've already sifted through those before. It was just, we had duplicate games, and at GameStop, you can't have duplicate games to go in, or they will just turn them down. And we were, at the time, trying to get money to get another Xbox One. So we did accomplish that and got the money we needed anyway. So because of that, that's one reason why we didn't have as many games this time around. So this is our DVD collection. We have our blank CDRs there in case we need them. We've got our Skylander dude right there, and he will join his little teammates here in a little while. This Xbox down here, we need to find the right cord to it. It's the power cord that it's missing. Once we find that, which we're going to be going through cords here soon, as far as the KonMari Method goes. Once I find the right cord to this, then we will take it down there and sell it as well, because we don't need the Xbox 360 anymore, because pretty soon they're going to be kind of obsolete until they become vintage again, and I don't want to hold on to that long. So there you go. So, and then here's an empty shelf here. So we definitely have plenty of room here, to the point that now I can honestly say we could probably get rid of this cabinet in and of itself, which was one of the things we wanted to accomplish anyway, because we're wanting to actually take and turn this area here between the doors and the doors into a closet. So now we could probably do that and it not be that much of a hassle. So we'll just have to get rid of the cabinet. All right, so there we go. CDs, DVDs, and games are complete. Okay, so I just finished decluttering the games, DVDs, CDs. Yeah, that was it. And I wanted to give a couple of tips, things I learned along the way as I was going through it, okay? First off is we had a lot of things that were outside of their boxes. So what I would recommend somebody to do, which I did it kind of backwards. I went through everything, each individual thing. But what I would recommend somebody do is, before you start sorting it all, go through and put things with their covers. Like DVDs that are loose, put them in their cases. CDs the same thing, and games the same thing. That way you're only going through each item once, whereas I had to go through a couple of items a couple of times, which luckily let me know I really did want to get rid of something, because if I let go of it twice, then I definitely need it out of my house. But it definitely made it a lot harder, and it was more things to go over because of the fact that it was, going through them twice. So I recommend putting everything in their cases first. And then also, another reason why that was helpful is because the local place that I go and sell my DVDs to will only take them if they have cases. So that right away rules out some that I need to look at just on eBay and not. Because obviously the loose ones I could still sell on eBay as long as they'll still play. So there's that. And then also look up online how to look at the DVDs to see for scratches and things like that. So that way you know without watching them if they're going to play or not. Because that'll help you learn how GameStop and used bookstores, things like that, that'll take your DVDs, how they weed through them. So that way you don't even waste your time taking the stuff that they're not going to take because it's not playable. It's too scratched up. Same things with CDs as well. So that is some of the tips that I would give. I went through them all. I feel fantastic now because that's done, because that was a big chunk of stuff that was in our house that needed to be gone through. I did keep a couple of DVDs. Sorry, I got rid of all the CDs. Keep holding on to a couple of DVDs because I haven't watched them before. These are things that were movies that, have come out years ago, but I totally forgot they came out. But my husband had a DVD of them, so those I'm keeping. I'm holding on until we watch them, and then I'm letting them go at that point, because I'm not one that likes to rewatch movies unless I'm like, oh my god, that was my favorite movie ever. So any of those I'm just going to watch and get rid of. For example, we watched License to Wed last weekend, so now I know I can put that in the discard pile because I don't want to watch it again. It was a good movie, but I don't want to watch it more than once, really. So so that's where we are there. And now I'm going to be moving on to the next phase, which will be skincare, makeup, that kind of thing. I'm trying to figure out how I'm defining that, because she doesn't really give you specifics on those kind of things. It's like she mentioned she's more specific with kitchen items than she is with bath items. So I'm thinking that means just do all of my bath stuff. That's kind of how I'm leaning more towards. But I'm going to check out some of the expert YouTubers out there that have also done this process and see what y'all do. And I guess I'll kind of mimic what y'all do and just follow along with you all. So that way I feel like I'm at least doing it right, because I'm one of those people that I have to know I'm doing it right. If I don't know I'm doing it right, I will critique myself over and over again. Also, just so y'all know, some of the videos that I've shown my messy house. That's the whole point of this. I'm not going to sugarcoat what my house looks like, because the whole point of this is to go through this big decluttering process. And then after all of that's done, then I'll go through the cleaning process. Because that's one of the things that KonMari mentions, is if you stop in the between and clean everything before you set everything back in there, you're taking too much time away, and most of the time you won't finish. So instead I'm going to not clean. I'm going to go through just the decluttering, and I'll get to the cleaning after that. So those of you that are criticizing the messiness of my house, I don't want to hear it. And also, this DVD process actually took a lot longer than I thought it was going to. And it's not because it took that long. It's just things came up and we took some time off. We purchased a camper during this time. We took it out last weekend to try it out and make sure everything was good on it and things like that. So that was a whole weekend I lost that I would have been decluttering. Also, I've had stuff going on with my back. I don't know if I hurt myself in process of lifting boxes of things and that's how I hurt it, or if it's just left over from when we put the flooring on in the house, or flooring down in the house. One of which, or a combination of all of it, messed my back up. And so because of that, I had to go to the doctor, get some medications for my back, and told myself I wasn't going to work on the decluttering again until my back started feeling better. Which today is one of those days when it's finally starting to feel better. So I went ahead and finished up what category we were on. And I'm probably going to get started on this next category because it's, pretty easy. I don't see it as being a difficult task for me on this one, honestly, because I don't hold on to a lot of things in my bathroom anyway that I don't use, because why do that? So I'm sure there's going to be a couple of things, but I don't see it as being this big purge, not like the clothing and things like that were. So anyway, that is the ending of our decluttering of our CDs, DVDs, and games. So I hope y'all enjoyed that. I hope you found it helpful. And if you want any advice on how to sell things in your house instead of just purging it, send me a comment down below so I know to do a video on that if y'all are interested in it. It's really pretty simple. I'm an eBayer as well, so I sell things on eBay. That's why I keep mentioning that. We're going to get to my eBay section eventually in this process. and we'll be decluttering that as well, which will be interesting to see what I end up keeping in my inventory and what I end up purging after all. So anyway, that is all we have for today. I will talk to you all later when we do the next category, which will be bathroom personal items, makeup. Well, she calls it skincare and makeup section. So talk to you all later. Bye.